welcome. Thanks everybody for turning up. I won't bore you too long, so hopefully everybody can get the picture of what Krakatoa is. This is our first time in Sydney for a long time, so we've actually got a lot of news to get through, and I'll try to get through as fast as I can today. Time started. Disclaimer, I won't be reading that. Okay, company overview. Why Krakatoa? Okay, Krakatoa is just not a one-trick pony. You know, we're not just rare earth focused. We've actually got rare earth specialty metals plus nickel potential there as well. We've got copper and we've also got gold. Now, that's a lot, obviously, but our focus is obviously in this new metal space. So look, the growth potential on rare earths is huge. We all know that. We know the specialty metals is huge as well with the emerging markets. And obviously all our projects are located in Australia. Again, safe jurisdictions, easy for us. We've been undergoing very strategic, I guess, aggressive exploration recently, and obviously been focusing all those efforts into certain areas, and I'll get through those as we go through this. Another key criteria here is all our projects are 100% owned. Okay, snapshot of Krakatoa. Look, we've got 345 million shares on issue, market cap circa around 20 mil. We've got a 4.2 in the bank. It's probably closer to 3.5 now. We are doing exploration, obviously. You can see our daily or our moving price over the last few years, and that's fluctuated. We recently had a discovery before the market started to go bye-bye again. And, we intend to keep adding on value to our shareholder base there. So right now, if you look at this, you're sort of looking at the lowers, and we're probably moving up towards those highs again. Our executive team, our board, Colin Locke, David Palumbo, and Tim, they're all in the financial service sector, principally, and then myself as the GO, sort of as a technical guy behind it. With over 20 odd years, grey hair gives it away. But our projects here, the projects I'm going to concentrate on today are only going to be the Mount Clare and King Tamba projects. Within Mount Clare, we've got a few anomalies or a few targets, and King Tamba as well. They're both in WA. The rest of the stuff, if you want to know about it, come and see us. Look on our website. It's all there. So critical metals, we all know what it's all about. Rare earths, we know why we're all here today, looking at these in the future. I'm just going to skim through these slides because you've seen them a few times in different versions throughout the day. So what we've got here is Mount Clare, which we'll get the later. You can see our Mount Clare, basically rare earths, nickel, copper, and also the potential copper, tantalum, and rubidium and zircon as well. Dalgaranga is actually now called King Tamba. Dalgaranga is a gold mine in the area and everybody gets us confused. And then Rand is obviously a project that we have here in New South Wales. So we cover all those emerging metals, the demand cycle. So I guess where we are right now, we've completed resource drilling at Mount Clare, okay, over our Tower prospect, which we've actually identified our rare earths. Now, these are clay-hosted rare earths. We've undertaken our initial metallurgical rare earth reporting. That's still ongoing. We are looking to have a maiden resource on this Tower prospect by the end of this year. We'll then obviously undertake our second phase of metallurgical processing. But also within the Tower area, we've identified other zones where we need to step out and look at as well, and we'll be undertaking that in the next quarter. We also have identified basement sulfide potential. We're assuming it's nickel copper, maybe PGEs as well, EM conductors, all the plumbing's there, the geology all supports it. And obviously we'll be drilling that before the year is out. King Tamba, now this is a lithium, tantalum, rubidium, pegmatite. It's not spodumene. It's basically next to Mount Magnet area. Again, we've drilled this recently. We're about to bring out a maiden resource on this. And then obviously we'll be doing test work on the metallurgy, and I'll talk to you a bit more specific about that in a minute. That's what the timeline looks like over the course of the next 2 quarters. It's a pretty busy time for us. Everything sort of just bunched in together. Although drilling has come, the labs have delayed, so the resources are being pushed back. But we'll be there by Christmas. Hopefully we'll have early Christmas presents coming down. So to get on to the part that I really wanted to discuss, and I guess it's to give you an idea of what the projects are and how we're finding these things and what we're actually doing. Rather than me just telling you this stuff, it's actually proof is in the pudding here. At Mount Clare, we've got over 2,300 square kilometres of tenure. Look, we've probably explored maybe 150 square k's of that realistically, okay? We've been there since 2019, we pegged it. By the time 2020 came around, that's when we were actually allowed to get on the ground and actually start real exploration. But what we've been able to do there in that period of time is obviously we've identified large sulfides or late time EM conductors, which we believe are the base bones of these sulfides. We've also do know that there are heavy mineral sands in the area. This area was explored previously by BHP and they were looking for diamonds. So they were doing a lot of work on their streams. And that was part of the reason that we went in there, because they did identify large amounts of monazite, or abundant as they called it. And obviously we've got a lot of rare earth potential there as well. Now we believe we do have a hard rock rare earth potential as well as clays. We're yet to prove the hard rock side. We're still out there. So look, there's a lot of opportunity, I guess, on this project. Some of the science behind it, I guess, is where we go now. In April, we discovered the thick clay regoliths, which hosts all the rare earths. Now, these are a little bit different to a lot of other companies that are here. Our actual clay regolith is actually in situ. It is actually hasn't been deposited there. It's a process of the weathering of the bedrock. Okay, so this is in situ. It stays there. It's been weathered. So we've defined an exploration target over that. And you'll see those green dots on the map over here. They're our discovery holes. Okay, again, very large, thick, consistent, comparable rare earth oxide total values to the same as our peers that are in this cycle. And again, we've uncovered our metallurgical processing. We're moving that forward. What we've recently done is we've drilled out all these red holes. They're the ones that are going to get us into this resource. We're looking probably at a resource in the order of obviously greater than 100 million tonnes, but probably less than 500 million tonnes because we didn't drill the whole area. So the upside, just to give this a bit of context, this is probably 2/3 of the area that we have there at Mount Clare. And where we're talking with Tower is this little zone here, just this small area right here where the pointer is now. So that's where our exploration target is. That's where we're doing our resource. Now, the reason we drilled there is because there's a bush track there. We could get a drill rig in. Okay, we've got massive area over here, which has been identified as well, okay, to be hosting a lot of regolith rare earths. So all these dots on this map correspond to a rare earth. Okay, and they're all associated with stream sediment sampling. And a lot of that was done by BHP in the initial days. So these blue dots over here are abundant BHP one. But none of this area has really been explored. And what we've been able to do is, I guess, identify areas of interest initially, and now we've just got to prove it. Well, we've proved what we've thought was there. We've identified these rare earths were in the clays, and now we've got to go to the next step, solve the metallurgical issues, go through that, and let's push it on and get this thing into production. So how does this look, I guess, compared to our peers? And when I talk about peers, I'm talking about companies that are actually going into production on rare earths, okay, these clay-hosted rare earths. So what we've got is IXR. What we've got here is, we want that one, that's a Clare, okay, Hochschild-based, and then Sierra Verde, which is the other one, okay? That one's in Chile, that one's in Uganda, and that one's in Brazil. So a bit of diversity between them. All those colors there, all these colors represent payable rare earths, Okay, they're the rare earths elements that are actually payable at this stage. Okay, so you look at us, we've got the same backbones as IXR and a Clare. What does that mean? That means it's basically coming from the same situation. It's a monazite-based rare earth host, okay? They're all payable. These market caps of these companies, okay, that's about 170 mil, and that's about 100 mil. And their resources, they've got resources, they're a bit more advanced than us, but that's where we look to be very soon. But on top of that, and I guess another string to our bow, is these nickel sulfide, potential sulfide basements, deposits that we've identified. We've got multiple conductors out there, which we completed a VTEM survey over late last year, earlier this year. We followed a lot of those targets up, and now we've got some actually moving loop targets down on the southern cluster. And some of these targets are actually 6 of the conductors are over 8,000 Siemens, which is quite a good number to have when you're looking for this. What's also good at these is they're late time, but they also are on magnetic lineaments, okay, which would interpret structural orientations. So we've got a lot of pathfinder elements within the streams and in the soils there as well. We've got high chromium, which obviously we believe is adding to that PGE side of it. But until we drill it, we don't know. Currently, we're out there doing a heritage survey. We hope to be drilling before the end of the year. This gives you a bit of a snapshot of what I guess, you have a look at what Chalice has been able to do with their EM conductor. That's the picture of Chalice's EM conductor at the top there. This is all to scale. Okay, this is a Nova one from Suru Resources back in Nova Bollinger when they first discovered that. This is our conductors here of one of our targets. Oh, okay. This is another conductor here, and these are our magnetics down here. So what we're really excited about is actually get in here and actually drill these plates out before the end of the year. I'm running out of time, but so I want to get into King Tamba. So look, King Tamba is an LCT pegmatite swarm. This used to be mined by Tantalum Australia for tantalum, obviously. Now, what we've been able to do here is identify that there's a lot of other mineral assemblages that are more important these days within this deposit. And we've actually recently drilled this out, and we're going to have a mineral resource on this before the end of the year again. One interesting fact here, I guess a lot of people in this room have probably never heard of rubidium. Okay, rubidium is one of those metals that sort of goes under the radar. It's not used a lot, but as technology advances, and just some, rubidium carbonate right now, 1 kilo of rubidium carbonate is $1,000 US. Okay, so it puts you into perspective of where we sit. What is also, I guess, what is it used for? Okay, you want to increase your efficiency of any photovoltaic solar panel or anything with glass associated, then 20% by using a little bit of rubidium, you actually increase it by 20%. And as the previous speakers have mentioned, with these new sodium-ion batteries, they are 60% cheaper. They're better performance. They also need rubidium in that. So that's a market to be watching. And I'll put the last slide up just to show you a bit of what we're sort of looking at here. This is our exploration target. There's no doubt we'll overdo that with our recent coverage, but we've also got over here, rubidium market. There's some breakdown there of what it's used for, and it's actually going to be a bit bigger. And I think I'm out of time now, so I'll move on. And look, if you want any more detailed information or a bit more knowledge about these things, come and see us at the booth. We're there. Thank you.